Number 15. Trick2G. An incident with a surprising twist. Streamer Trick2G is a well-known League of Legends streamer and is known for his over-the-top antics and ridiculous persona. During a stream which he was celebrating 800,000 followers with a 24-hour stream, which suddenly ended when police appeared to burst into his stream and arrest him after a physical altercation. However, his website manager, Cher Gambino, later revealed the swatting incident had been arranged by Trick, and the two officers who appeared to make the arrest were actors. While fans of the streamer were delighted by the surprise ending, Twitch executives were not, and that Monday Trick found out his account had been banned from Twitch for violating terms of service. This caused a massive uproar by followers who demanded Twitch remove the ban on Trick, which was rumored to last 4 months or even permanently. However, a Twitch spokesperson stated the ban was only temporary and Trick's account was back up within a few days. People have argued both for and against the joke, with some saying it was just Trick's way of giving his fans a memorable ending to a stream, while others call it insensitive to the SWAT officers and streamers who have been swatted and traumatized from the experience. Number 14. Alexander Wachs. Known on Twitch as Whiteboy7 Street, Wachs was in the middle of streaming the popular game DayZ when he suddenly excused himself and ran out of the room. Viewers were left confused until a K9 unit was seen sweeping his home. Then it was clear to his followers Wachs had been swatted. The caller who instigated the situation made a false tip of a potential bomb threat, giving out Wachs' address as the perpetrator. While most swatting incidents end after the hoax is discovered, the police dog was able to sniff out Wachs' marijuana stash, and he was arrested for felony possession. Having to face the possibility of a prison sentence, Wachs' luck changed when prosecutors dropped all charges against him and his roommate due to the quote, unique set of circumstances, end quote, and he returned to streaming shortly after. This incident was the third within a month to involve Wachs, but the first major one for him. Police continue to investigate the incident and are still attempting to identify the prankster. Number 13. Tyran Dobbs. While swatting incidents mostly result in only the waste of police resources and victims shaken, this wasn't the case for Tyran Dobbs, a Elliott City, Maryland resident. SWAT arrived at Dobbs' home after a call came in claiming to be Dobbs, stating he was holding 3 people hostage and he would execute them if he did not receive $15,000. When police arrived at the apartment, they contacted Dobbs' father, who told them there was a gun in the apartment and he didn't know if Dobbs was a legitimate threat or not. Police spotted Dobbs move to the sliding glass window of the apartment and ordered him to surrender with his hands up. However, Dobbs retreated back inside. The second time he appeared, they gave him the same orders, and as he moved to go back in, police shot him with 2 rubber bullets and he collapsed. Dobbs was restrained and taken to the hospital, while 3 women were removed from the apartment. While searching the apartment, police noticed a strong smell of drugs, and after questioning all who were inside at the time, it was determined all 4 inside didn't respond to police as they believed it was over the drugs and were unaware of the hostage call. Dobbs sustained injuries to his nose, requiring several surgeries to reconstruct. The FBI is currently handling the investigation to press federal felony charges against the caller. Number 12. Lil Wayne, the stage name of American hip-hop artist Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. Lil Wayne has been active in the hip-hop scene since 1996. On March 11, 2015, Miami police were called by a man claiming to have killed 4 people in Lil Wayne's Miami Beach mansion. Heavily armed police quickly descended on the scene and established a perimeter. Upon entering the home, it was clear the call had been a hoax, and police gave the all-clear after quickly sweeping the mansion with K9 units. Lil Wayne's recording company tweeted the rapper was unharmed and not at the home at the time of the incident. Police are now attempting to identify the caller, as swatting is a 3rd-degree felony in Florida and offenders can face a maximum of 5 years in prison. No one was injured in the incident and the investigation into the hoax is ongoing. Number 11. Jacob Neumann, a young Washington State teen who hosted a server on the popular game Minecraft. Neumann was 16 at the time he was swatted in June 2012 in Kingston, Washington. While playing the game with others online, Neumann began noticing harassment towards himself and other players by an individual, which he promptly kicked off the server. Soon after, Neumann began receiving messages threatening to call the police on him, which he ignored. Not long after, a call came into Kitsap County Sheriff's Office from someone claiming to be hiding in his bathroom after his dad shot his sister. Police descended on Neumann's home and forced his father, Dave, to lay on the ground before placing him in handcuffs. Neumann and his brother were also handcuffed and removed from the home while police swept the rooms. It was discovered the sister was non-existent and the family was released. The incident has led to politicians in the Washington legislature to propose harsher penalties for people who call in swatting incidents due to the real danger involved to officers and the victims of the hoax. While the identity of the caller has not been revealed, police have stated it was a Canadian youth behind the hoax, and it is unclear if charges can be pressed against him in Washington state. Number 10, Ted Lieu, a California state representative and the author of California's anti-swatting bill, became the victim of a swatting incident himself in April 2013. An anonymous caller to police claimed to have just shot his wife and gave out the address to Lieu's home, prompting police to surround his home. His wife, Betty, was the only one home at the time and was sick in bed, while Lieu was meeting with caucus members and his children were at school. Police phoned Lieu to inform him of what had happened and apparently greeted Lieu with, "You didn't just shoot your wife?" initially believing his wife had just been shot. It soon became clear to him that he was a victim of swatting due to his involvement in the anti-swatting legislation. Betty was safely removed from the home and police searched it to determine it was safe. Lieu has praised the professionalism of the police and their calm manner once the situation was determined to be a hoax. If the caller was attempting to divert Lieu away from the anti-swatting bill, it appears to have backfired, and Lieu became more determined to ensure the bill became law in California. The bill passed in August of the same year and came into effect January 1st, 2014. Number 9, Wesley Wolverness Wolfe. A mod developer for Minecraft, Wolfe was the target of a swatting incident in what was believed to be retaliation for his issuing of takedown notices against Craft Bucket. Police were called to Wolfe's residence in Lamarck, Texas, after reports Wolfe had murdered his parents with an AR-15 and was now on a killing spree. Wolfe's mother greeted officers as they surrounded the house, then phoned her son to say he needed to come out with his hands up. The situation was quickly de-escalated after police spoke with Wolfe and immediately began treating the situation as a hoax. Wolfe said it was just the latest in a series of threats made to him over social media, stemming from anger over Wolfe's involvement of producing third-party software for Minecraft and the disputes involved with them. Unfortunately, tracking the caller has proved difficult as the call came in via Skype as opposed to a landline or cellular. With that said, the caller is now to be charged federally, with the FBI handling the investigation. Number 8, Justine Roberts, co-founder of the popular parents forum Mumsnet. Roberts was subjected to, as of yet, unmotivated swatting to her home in London. A caller reported a gunman in the area. Furthermore, several members of Mumsnet were also swatted after their addresses were obtained by the hoaxer, leading to one of the largest swatting incidents ever. Investigators suspect a group known as Dad Security to be behind the series of incidents, as they have made several threats against the Mumsnet website for unknown reasons. How the group obtained the addresses is currently unknown, as Mumsnet does not collect address information from its users. Mumsnet has also been the subject of several DDoS attacks, through which Dad Security was able to obtain the passwords of many users, prompting Mumsnet to advise users to change their passwords and to expand their security. The investigation into the incidents are currently ongoing, and apparently charges are pending against those involved. Number 7, Jeff Kuroh, member of the Howard Stern Whack Pack under the name Jeff the Drunk. Kuroh began his regular calls to the show in 1992 and has been a guest caller ever since. His nickname Jeff the Drunk is in reference to his alcoholism, and he is known to be paralyzed in his arm as a result of a car accident in his adolescence. Kuroh kept his phone number online publicly so fans may call him and speak to him, which led to Kuroh being a unique entry when he was swatted twice in one day on September 23, 2015. Both calls have been made by a man living in Florida, with the first call reporting Curro had fallen and was unable to get up, and the second claiming Curro had overdosed on pills. A neighbor had seen the police arrived and immediately phoned Curro's family to have someone check up on him, but by the time the family arrived, the police had left. Curro immediately logged onto his Periscope account to announce what had happened, and took his own personal revenge by placing the number of the caller on his page, publicly available to the internet to do as they wished. Number 6. Unnamed Bungie executive. Police of Samish, Washington received a call from what appeared to be a disturbed man with an assault rifle holding hostages, demanding $20,000 for them to be released. Police surrounded the home at 4 a.m. and a helicopter surveyed the scene as police attempted to make contact with the people inside the residence. The standoff lasted 45 minutes before it was determined to be a hoax. The home belonged to an unnamed executive of Bungie, the studio behind the early Halo series and Destiny. Investigators were able to determine the call was made through the internet and not the home of the incident, but the identity of the prankster is still unknown. If caught, he or she could face a year in jail and a $5,000 fine. The identity of the Bungie executive has not been revealed due to his request for privacy as the investigation is ongoing. Number 5. The Yan family. Residents of the Richmond Hill neighborhood of Toronto were startled when several police units and a tactical team raided the home of Vincent Yan and his family. Witnesses described how the Yan children were let out crying while Vincent and his wife were removed in handcuffs and into the back of a police car. According to authorities, several other similar incidents have occurred in the area. Police searched the home before releasing the family from custody, determining the 911 which sent them there to be a hoax. Vincent described the horrifying experience, stating, "I just saw guns, big guns." Police have provided services to the Yan family to help them with their trauma and are continuing to investigate the incident. Considering the severity of the incident and the lasting impact on the family, it is fortunate no one was hurt, and investigators are inching closer to the identity of the person responsible to face prosecution. Number 4. Chris Brown. A notorious figure in the hip-hop scene, Chris Brown has gained animosity in the public life after he pled guilty to battery charges against his then-girlfriend Rihanna in June 2009. In the aftermath, Brown has lost fans, people called for boycotts of his albums, and he has been the subject to an outpour of public scrutiny. So it may come as no surprise Brown was the subject of a swatting incident in January 2013. Los Angeles police were called to Brown's home with reports of a domestic violence situation. Responding officers were met at the door by Brown's employees, and Brown was not in the home at the time. After a search determined there was no wrongdoing, the incident was declared a hoax. An investigation switched over to determine the perpetrator. News of the swatting incident has sparked mixed reactions, with dedicated fans condemning the actions, while others counter that with Brown's shady history with domestic abuse, he deserved it. Others are in the middle, while arguing Brown has brought the criticism on himself. It was unfair to waste police resources in this prank. So far, no one has been charged with Brown's swatting incident, and the identity of the perpetrator remains a mystery. Number 3. Erik Erickson. A well-known conservative blogger from the United States, Erickson has said in interviews he is the target for swatting frequently. However, the biggest incident occurred on May 27, 2012, when a caller claimed he had just shot his wife and will shoot others unless he was arrested. Police surrounded his home, shocking his wife and daughter, and ordered everyone out of the home as police nervously hovered their hands over their holstered guns. Fortunately, there were no injuries, and the event was quickly determined to be a hoax. Not much more information is available due to the ongoing investigation, but the swatting incident has led to Erickson pleading with Congress to step up legislation against swatters and for harsher sentencing for those who call in such incidents. Many speculate the caller orchestrated the swatting as retaliation over Erickson's right-wing rhetoric and to discredit his name, though a definitive motivation is still unknown. Number 2. Joshua Peters. Better known by his Twitch ID Koopa787, Peters is a US Air Force veteran who has now pursued streaming as his career. Peters was in the middle of streaming the game RuneScape to 60,000 people when he heard a knock at his door. After he asked what was up, he revealed to his audience that police had shown up, and he abruptly left to investigate. Peters later returned visibly shaken and noticed someone had posted his address to the stream discussion. This led him to tearfully explain, "I had police point a gun at my little brother because of you." Afterwards, he ended the stream early. Peters still has no idea what motivated the person to swat his home, but states it was an eye-opener for him to be more careful in private when it comes to his personal life while streaming, and warns other streamers to do the same. Number 1. Jordan Mathewson. By far the most popular streamer on this list, Mathewson is known as Kootra on Twitch and has amassed 200,000 Twitch subscribers and 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. Mathewson got quite a shock while streaming a game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive from the Creatures LLC main office in Littleton, Colorado. Mathewson heard a commotion from outside and immediately knew the offices were being swatted. Almost immediately after, armed officers burst into the room and ordered him to the ground, which he quickly obliged. The incident was the result of an anonymous caller claiming Mathewson had shot 2 of his co-workers and had now barricaded himself with hostages. Now that it was determined a hoax, Denver police are now investigating to press charges against the caller once he or she has been identified. While shaken from the experience, Mathewson had taken light of the situation, crediting the support from his followers for his ability to move on. Got an idea for a top 15 video? Be sure to submit it at top15s.net/submit. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching.